Well, day 4 of the Sam Kerr trial has continued in London, and there's a lot more headlines being made about it on this particular day because it got rather emotional in court, both from Sam Kerr and from her partner, Kristie Mewis. Now, it's interesting that the media picks up on that, and what I want to recommend to you is read as widely as possible, because every single report will pick up on something different, and what they focus on is something different. But if you want a fuller picture of what goes on in court and everything that the jury is hearing and what they will use to make up their mind, please look far and wide. Don't just believe one report or one person, unless, of course, you've already made your mind up and you don't really want to hear all the evidence that's being put in court. But one thing I'd like to direct you to is actually the Twitter feed of one of the UK reporters. Her name's Catherine Batt. She's the women's football reporter for The Telegraph, and she's been live tweeting from inside the court. So you get a much fuller picture of the conversation and the interaction between both the prosecution and the defence lawyers and whoever is in the stand at the time. Now, I want to take you to today's feed that Catherine put up, especially the interrogation of Sam Kerr from the prosecutor. So Kerr is being asked why she didn't speak to the operator when her emergency call was answered. Kerr said, "It was a very hectic place. I couldn't tell you right now. It was a very traumatic experience being in there." Kerr is asked if she usually uses bad language, to which she says, "Not much." She is then asked, "Do you remember referring to the taxi driver as a dodgy C?" "Yes." Prosecutor, "Is that something you would normally say?" Kerr, "No, that's something I'm embarrassed about." Kerr is asked about telling police, "I will have the best lawyers, don't effing worry." Prosecutor, "Do you know the expression giving it the big I am? Do you think that's what you were doing?" No. Throwing your weight around a bit? No. Kerr is then asked, "Who had the power and privilege, Miss Kerr?" Kerr says, "In my opinion, the police." Prosecutor, "About 30 minutes after this, you accused them of being racist to you." Kerr, "Yes. There was no basis for this," the prosecutor says. Kerr, "It's how I perceived it." Prosecutor, "Was it because you thought they were believing the driver over you?" Kerr, "That played into it." Prosecutor, "Do you remember the driver was Asian?" Kerr, "No." Prosecutor, "If they believed him, then any assessment they were making was not based on race." Kerr, "Yes." Prosecution, "That accusation you chuck out there, accusing them of being racist, was completely unfair, wasn't it?" Kerr, "No, that's how I perceived it." Prosecutor, "To call PC Lovell irrelevant is an insult, isn't it?" Kerr, "Yes." "To call him stupid is an insult?" "Yes." "To call someone effing stupid, do you agree, abusive and insulting?" "Yes, can be perceived that way." Prosecutor, "Is there another way to perceive it?" Kerr, "In this context, no." Prosecutor, "When you say to him you're effing stupid, we're clear, aren't we, that you meant that to upset him? He's upsetting me, I'm going to upset him." Kerr, "Yes." Prosecutor, "Then you said he was effing stupid and white." Kerr, "Yes." "What did his race have to do with anything?" "As I've explained to you before, I thought it was him using his privilege and power over me because people perceive me to be something I'm not." Prosecutor, "You felt he couldn't understand what it must have been like for you, 2 young women in the back of the cab, being driven by a man, being frightened." Kerr, "Yes." Prosecutor, "That is a problem of his perception of a man not putting himself in the shoes as a woman." Kerr, "Yes." Prosecutor, "Got nothing to do with race, has it?" Kerr, "No." Prosecutor, "None of this has anything to do with race, does it?" Kerr, "The way I perceived it, how he was treating me, it did." Prosecutor, "What you're saying is you're stupid because you're white." Kerr, "No." Prosecutor, "You don't get it because you're white." Kerr, "No." Prosecutor, "You were turning his whiteness into an insult, weren't you?" Kerr, "No." Prosecutor, "That's what it means, isn't it? You're effing stupid and white." Kerr, "That's not what I meant." Prosecutor, "Can you see you've rolled those together as an insult?" Kerr, "Yes." Prosecutor, "At the moment, you are expressing his stupidity You chose to demonstrate your hostility towards him because of his whiteness. Kerr, that's not what I meant. Prosecutor, it's what you did. Kerr, it's what I did, yes. Now, extended footage has been shown, a full half hour of the interaction between the police officers and with Sam Kerr and Kristie Mewis on the night of the incident. Now, I found the longest part of that on the Australian's website, and I'm going to play you a bit of that footage now.
Listen to the recording, because I've got all the people in the world. Okay, and what's your name? File a police report. I've got fucking Chelsea going on it, because that is don't worry. I will have the best lawyers. Don't worry. Because I would never fucking say no to pain. Well, listen to the recording. Listen to the recording. No, that's because he's a fucking liar. That's he's a fucking liar, and they're listening to some fucking black taxi man, a black cat cab or whatever they're called, white taxi man or whatever they're called, the cab, over us two women. That's a fucking lie. I would pay whatever. That's a lie. Why are you listening to a taxi cab over us two women?
Oh, we're not.
But why? You are.
We listen to both sides.
No, you're not. I'm gonna fucking call my lawyer. I'm gonna call my lawyer. I'm over these.
I mean, you can call your lawyer if you like to, but I mean, I think it's a little bit irrelevant, right?
No, I'm calling my fucking lawyer. Because this is a fucking racial fucking thing.
It is not.
Because you are not letting me go because you're believing that guy out the front over £50?
Right, you need to calm yourself down on this, didn't you?
£60, £100, we don't give a fuck. But you know what? You guys are f***ing stupid.
Oh my god, you guys should
You believe him over two women.
Right,
You guys should see what he was doing.
Can you listen?
Come and pay for what the he did?
I've listened to you a lot because I had no choice to, because you're a very loud person.
You're literally a white privileged man.
Okay, but you don't need to be racist towards me, do you?
No, you're literally, because we asked him to stop at
We
the
said,
point
please stop.
we said please stop 5 or 6 times.
A million times.
Can we talk
Is
to
there
a
like
major?
person?
We want to talk to someone major. Because we're done. You're like irrelevant.
Okay, and so are you.
I'm understanding what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
paying for some dodgy window.
Now, when it came time for Kristie Mewis to be cross-examined, that's Sam Kerr's partner, she told the court that she remembers leaning back on my back with both my feet, kicking through the taxi window and breaking it. Now, she confirmed that she had broken the taxi window, saying that she did so because I had to do something dramatic to save us. That's just how I felt in the moment. But under cross-examination, she couldn't remember which window she had broken. She also couldn't say who damaged the divider between the passenger section of the taxi and the driver. She broke down in tears while she was being cross-examined, and at the time that she broke down in tears, Sam Kerr was also seen to wipe a tear from her face. She was asked by Kerr's barrister, Grace Forbes, to describe her partner, and an emotional Mewis replied, Sam is so loving, she's so humble, she would help anybody. That's one of the things I love about her so much. She's so inspiring, she inspires me every day. I wouldn't want anyone else to be the mother of my child. Now, the hearing is going to continue, going into a 5th day overnight in Australia, heading into Friday in London. Another update after that.